you sit down when all should be standing? And why do
the song in the background is by Jordan Page. It's titled Liberty. How do you like my Darwinian beard? It's actually not a Darwinian beard. It is a Spooner beard. Lysander Spooner.
As Sam slips away from the castle. It's time to stand.
You know, it's interesting to look at what's going on today with the liberty movement, the anarcho-capitalists, the Ron Paul movement, etc. We are the revolutionaries, not you. You're for the status quo. You're for the state. You're for the banksters. Okay? Obama is one of the banksters. He's one of the 1%. Have you ever seen the house he lived in Chicago? How many of us could ever afford a house like that or in a neighborhood like that? Same with the Bush family. You're the racist. You voted for a man because of his skin color, not because of peace. Not because of civil liberties. You're a liar. You're the racist. People like me vote for peace, vote for life, human life. We value human life. You do not. You do not value civil liberties. We do. And that's why we're against the status quo. We are the revolutionaries, not you. You want more government. You support PIPA. You support SOFA. You support the NDAA. If you support Obama, or if you support Santorum or Bush or whoever, then you support these things. If you support Ron Paul, you don't support these things. We, not you, we are the Iranian revolutionaries that are fighting against their government. We, not you. You're liars. The war in Iraq is still going on. The war in Afghanistan is still going on. The war has expanded into Pakistan and even Iran. There are bases in Iraq that aren't supposed to be there. There are U.S. troops still there. There are civilian contractors still there. In fact, more of them now than there were ever U.S. troops there. And Iraq never did anything to the United States, did they? But we sure did something to them. Not me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You did it, because I have opposed these things the entire time. And you've lied. You lied. You claimed you opposed Guantanamo Bay. It's still open and active. You said you opposed these wars, but the only person opposing the wars are people like me and Ron Paul. You're going to continue to support Obama. You're going to do it because he's black, not because you actually oppose the wars. You support Obama, you support the bailouts, while the rest of us are getting poorer and poorer. My wife can't even afford health care. Yet you would put me in prison, and her in prison, if we don't purchase your health care. When we don't want it, you're forcing us, you're making us slaves to your ideals, to your beliefs, to your wants. We're not forcing anything. We will stand up to you, and are standing up to you. And, you know, the hippies of the 60s. I don't remember a whole lot of the 60s. I was born in the 60s. I started going to school in the 60s. But I do remember the 70s. And a lot of that carried on into the 70s. Remember the 80s. I haven't changed my views. I still oppose these wars. I still oppose the Patriot Act, but you obviously support these things. You vote for people who support these things. In fact, Obama has strengthened the Patriot Act. I oppose the Patriot Act. I did then, I do now. You're liars. You don't oppose these things. You support these things. And I don't know what else I can say. You're creeps. You're scary and dangerous. We, not you, are like the American revolutionaries. Personally, as an anarchist, I don't believe in government. If we're going to have a government, I would prefer it more under the Articles of Confederation. And of course, there are a bunch of you idiots out there who don't know what that means. Our Articles of Confederation were before the Constitution. Things were pretty good then, but you have people like Thomas Paine who, during the Constitutional Convention, during the debates, questioned why they would want to reimpose the same thing England had imposed. The Constitution is actually for the powerful. Washington, Jefferson, etc. These were the people of power, of wealth. But you're the followers of mass murderers. Marx, Lenin, Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Franco, Pol Pot, Idi Amin, Jim Jones. Who are the mass murderers? We don't support murder. We support peace. We only believe in force and self-defense, if you want to call that force. On the other hand, you would come and have us arrested if we smoke a joint, if we have raw milk. You would arrest us. That's what Obama's doing. That's what Bush did. The only candidate out there who's not doing that is Ron Paul. No, I believe in freedom. I don't think you all know what freedom is. And that's sad. It's very sad. Freedom is basically being able to do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting another person. Anarchy works. There's a book right here, A History of the American People by Paul Johnson. I would recommend you read some of the early chapters in that. Pretty good. You see that hat back there? That black hat next to the shadow box? That was worn by the Guardia Civil back home in Spain. That's what you're opposing on us, what they were then. To some degree, what they are now. But they're not as bad as they used to be. And don't get upset if we shoot back. You come breaking down my door like they did during Katrina. Took people, this is one old lady. She had an old revolver and they took it out of her hands. You can find the video on YouTube unless YouTube has removed it, because YouTube does what the government tells it to do. But you support SOPA, NDAA, etc. I don't. I vote for real change, not for rhetoric. And Aaron Raw, you're now a has-been. You're no different than Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and all those idiots. They're neocons, which means they're socialists, not conservatives. Ron Paul could be considered a true conservative or a classical liberal. Although he did wear that black and gold tie once. I don't know if he was trying to say something with that or not. That would be the flag of anarcho-capitalism, individualist anarchism. You're dangerous and you're scary. Just let me live my life. Don't interfere with my life. Don't make a bunch of rules and laws for everybody else to follow. Let us live our lives as free people.